what is it actually like to be working, to have your own company and to be working as a pilot project for a circular and or sustainable brand on one of these accelerator projects? This is what we want to look at now, and my colleague Ingrid Willems from DataScouts is going to discuss now with three of our, well actually four in total, of our pilot projects from the S4Fashion project.
Good.
Ingrid.
Thank you, David. Hi everybody back. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of lunch break. I'm really happy to stand here in front of you and be hosting and moderating exactly that panel about the entrepreneurial journey. Being an entrepreneur myself, I started my own company 7 years ago. We have a data tech company. We're based in Brussels. And we build software to map and monitor ecosystems to really understand who are the stakeholders, the dynamics between them, what are the trends, in order to help ecosystem really measure the impact that they're able to generate over a longer period of time. And that's also the role that we took in the S4Fashion project, to really provide a data platform in order to capture all that data, support policy making, the toolkits that we're building, but as well our SMEs to understand the market in which they were operating. So we're really pleased today to present to you the other 14 female entrepreneurs. It's the fashion industry, so there's a little bit more female entrepreneurs than you would see in other industries, particularly like that. So happy to have you here, guys. And I think what I wanted to say as well, we have been talking a lot about circular fashion today, as if it is like one specific thing. It is not. There are many different pathways to circular fashion, to greener and a more sustainable fashion. You know, we're looking at products and product design, make it recyclable. You know, it's how do you upcycle, how do you recycle. We're looking at the production processes. How can we, you know, become much more efficient in the resources we're using? We heard it before as well. We're looking into changing consumer behaviors. How do we help the consumer to find circular products? How do we change and inspire that person to change? And here again today, you will see that we have three completely different products going into completely different ways. So if we think about the support programs of the futures and the hubs of the futures, it's like not like one specific skill we need. We really need very multidisciplinary teams to make this happen. We need to be creative thinkers, we need to be engineers, we need to be entrepreneurs. That's most probably why we're multitasking women here, especially around the But you know, let me give the floor mainly to Zoe Romano, to Stefanie Barz, and to Ilaria Sposito and Livia, in order to present to you the real projects that we've done. So we really want to go into the details, show you where they started when they joined S4Fashion, but as well where they are today. And then, you know, we want to see a little bit of them, hear like what are the many decisions they've taken, what are the challenges they had to overcome, and eventually what's next in their project. How are they going to make it to the next level and a real success? So, yeah, you can start here, feel free. This is bigger. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm really glad to be supported by this project because I've been working on as independent researcher and practically maker in this industry, I would say, experimenting on textile and technology since like 10 years almost, and especially in smart textile and digital communication technology. So my first amazing land. This project I started in 2020, Cloco, and actually I developed it thanks to work support. So I was one of the first to ask for the work project. And with this, I created a brand that a smart textile that is able to shield electromagnetic field. This is not an innovation in the sense that there are not in the market, but my opportunity and my idea was to create a textile that was mostly made by cotton and metal. No polyester, no oil-based textile, and I managed that to wearing this textile makes it feel very natural. It's not made of like oil-based textile or others. And I created the smart textile, and I also created a small capsule collection that is actually pregnancy friendly because I created this type of pattern making that opens up when the body is growing. So, and also it is not specifically addressed to a sex, so gender free. So and it's practical and comfortable, and from that point of view I said, but it's not for me. I start to commercialize this, and I said no. I wanted to make it circular, and because I didn't care about circular smart textiles, and so I said, let's use this professional resources to go on it. And so in the last material record, only 1% of the textiles is circular, only 1% is nothing. And so I said, let's try to do it. And so my journey started. 1 year ago, I had to, differently from the previous project, from the previous textile, I had to make my own yarn. So I created the yarn, starting from the fibers. Then I manufactured the first test to test the shipping properties. And then finally, I had to do it again because I had to shred the textile that I created because I tested it to have a level of shipping, and it was good. And so I had, now let's see, and try to regenerate it. And so I had to shred the textile, like faking that someone was giving me back, no? That was consuming a textile, and then shredding, and then again, recreate the yarn and manufacture again the textile. And so, yes, and finally, the circular textile is here. So this is the virgin one, the first one, and this is the second one that I made. So if you want to have a look and go around. And so I'm very happy that I could make it. But the challenges were many in the sense that I had to do it in a short amount of time and with not many resources. But so testing circularity in small quantities is almost impossible because everyone will say, oh, we need to shred at least not this number of kilos. And I had not so much kilos of material. So I found finally with talking around, finally with my partners, we found one company that could do it like with 20 kilos. And it was not easy, okay? And the other thing is, the main problem that we had, and there is no technical infrastructure to support the testing of the circular textile. So big companies are doing it, they are creating their own big hubs where they do it, but if you go there and you're small, you say, I want to test this, there is not real space. So for me, it would be very useful to have a textile hub that is equipped with these machines that could be big, but there are also smaller, in which small enterprises can test the material with the spinning, weaving, and shredding. So, and also this thing of measuring success for me is somehow we need to increase this percentage of circular textile, and we need to do it also understanding that it's not about the quantity, but it's how many small can create a market. And if we just measure the indicator of success in how many can you make, how many million of kilometers of textile can you make, that's, I don't think, if we need to have sustainability, that's not the key. So we need to have many that do small. So I thank my team for working with me, and thank you very much.
So help us a little bit. I mean, you mentioned it as a professional project. What work did you like? What in the support program has helped you the most?
I mean, having someone to talk with discuss, like more psychologically, supporting. Because I mean, one thing that I found that technically they couldn't give me some tips on where should I go to shred a small amount of textile. That was not kind of mental. My project was very technical. Yeah. So actually it was useful for me just to have somebody to talk to. And understanding the market. I had a good discussion about the marketplace because here the products are too. I can make my own collection, but I want to sell the textile. That's my main product.
And that's the way I think is heading us to what's next. What is your next step now to make your project a success?
Okay, so yes. For me, it would be useful if there would be this kind of hub, because for me, it took me 1 year to do that process, and it's crazy. If I have to have a catalog of textile that is smart and trying with wool, silk, and have this mix, I cannot take like 4 years to do the same. But what is the problem? Because the factory, for example, the next spinning, it puts me in when it has a hole. And so if there is a big client spinning or weaving, they say, oh no, sorry, in 2 weeks maybe. And so I call after 2 weeks, maybe yes, no, 3 weeks, sorry, there is another big client. So they don't give me space.
So what you're looking for is sort of speeding up that process and having a team of experts or service providers.
An infrastructure that can support in a technical way for the testing of circular textile.
Great. Thank you very much, Zoe. I think that's the first project. Very lot of complexity. Stefanie, we want to hear, of course, your story as well, completely the other side on the side. So please, get started. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yes, thanks for having me, and thanks for being funded also. Our project group is a platform which tackles the fast fashion problem of overconsumption. So if we look into our own wardrobes, we disregard up to 40% of the clothing we own, right? And that piles up to 55 truckloads of textile waste per day in Germany alone. And if we imagine Europe, it must be around 1,000 per day. So there are also second-hand garments, more than that, which are exported overseas and end up in landfills. I think you know the story. So with Lulu, we want to make the fashion consumption future-oriented, because studies show that if we prolong the life cycle of clothing by around 9 months, we can already save 20% of resources, waste, and carbon. So apart from that, it also saves you time and money. We really want to make that possible. We want to make the reuse of fashion as attractive and efficient and convenient as buying new, or even better. So, Look is all about setting new standards, new status symbols that we need in this consumption world, and to really create a community of providers, makers, and making spaces, and give them the voice and the visibility they deserve. The small businesses on the local level. So I think you want to understand what exactly the product is. So it works like a marketplace, which is online, where consumers can explore and eventually book the services that we offer from our providers within the same city. So we have alteration shops, we have repair makers, we have also upcycling designers, so very modernized solutions that you can find there. And we also want to integrate maybe an e-bike delivery within the same city, and other tools for co-creation, also making on demand and producing locally is something we look at and want to support in the future. And so it works like you have a map, you can use the filter, and the booking system is easy for both sides of clients in this case. Let's see, let's make it a bit shorter. And this has been our journey, especially the funding journey since 2020, when we started with the concept. We were first funded for a non-profit version or platform called the Again Guide in Berlin, so funded by the Berlin Department for Climate Protection and Environment, and we also cooperated with the NGO in Berlin called Circular Berlin. And after that, or parallelly, we applied for funding programs that would support the commercialization of this idea. So our business model was supported not only by NXT4Fashion, but at the same time we had Berlin-based and German scholarships for founders that we could make use of, and which are co-financed by the European Social Fund. So we were super lucky. It was a lot of work to apply for these different programs. We're still in the process. We're still fundraising, because now, after 1.5 years, we have a prototype out there. We have mostly being tested in Kreuzberg, which is a district in central Berlin. And we're super happy that it's such a big project now already, and the UX design is wonderful because we can pay freelancers from the
financial support that we got. So it's not only the 3 co-founders which could work full-time because of all these funding programs, but also other experts that we could get on board. Great. And I think, we talk about challenges. Of course, we were facing lots of them, and we still are. Because, if we really want to have that impact of the reduction of 50% of new purchases, and then an impact optimization of 25%, with what Google could do, we of course need a lot of people to get on board and involved. And this takes time and investment to get maybe all these small SMEs and service providers onto our platform. We have to have rethinking the whole idea of consumption on a broader scale in all society. We have to revalue repair and find skilled workers and also teach them so we don't lose that craft and knowledge. We have to talk to the alteration shops, for example, which are very traditional, to really digitize what they do. And this is also the complexity of scalability here. We really need to reduce complexity and make it simple for everyone. Because we are a two-sided marketplace, we have the chicken and egg problem, and we really need to call everyone on board, because otherwise our business is not self-sustaining. So the goal we have needs to be sustainable through scalability, but we have this high acquisition and marketing cost. And we have the competition, which is usually not working together, so we really want to give importance to collaboration in this case. Like, why should we fund or build similar business models if we could not all work together to get all these people involved? So small steps for now to achieve a bigger vision. Okay, so if you look into S4Fashion, do you have any advice for the S4Fashion people who say, that is really what I missed in the program, that would have helped me really achieve faster? I need to point out that we are a different business model, of course, so we maybe have different needs than a regular, fashion label. And this is what we maybe miss, some very individual and precise coaching, for example, from an expert of marketplaces. So really as I think the vouchers were mentioned, I think it's a great idea to really decide and pay someone to help us who's much more experienced in this field. Also I like the idea of maybe continuous funding or mentoring And then if you look forward, what's your next step? Stefanie, what if you would ask the audience for something, what would they do for you to lead forward? Well, definitely we are in the next fundraising phase, so if you know investors or other funding programs, it would be helpful to have the contact. And what is really, really necessary for this audience, I think, is to understand that applying for different funding programs takes almost all the time we actually would need to build the product. And I would really love to have a startup or some kind of system to standardize and make it more efficient application process. Because it's really a lot of work to have different formats, different questions, but they all kind of answer the same. It's all very individual, it's not the same. So I hope, guys, you see that these are two completely different projects already with completely different needs. Having one accelerator, important, but you need to cater for the different approaches. Thank you very much. And now let's go one step further, and let's hear the story of Ilaria and Nika about Jungle. Here we're more on the product design side. So let's listen to their story.
Okay. I'd like to begin to thank you for this occasion to speak about all the questions you are talking about today. I will begin also with reading my little story before arriving at this profession corporate proposal. Okay? I'm a collectionist of used materials strongly involved in the production of useful and high-quality objects derived from them. This was my beginning in the neighborhood where I live in the historic center of Palermo, the district of Ferravecchia. Until a few years ago, this place was a forge for Palermo where work clothes were made, American products were imported, maybe from Gado, I don't know. Fabrics were sold and outdoor curtains were crafted. It was a lively, active and productive place in the heart of the city. The neighborhood was densely populated with a continuous hustle and bustle typical from Palermo way of living. But from the 70s onward, this life began to disappear slowly and more rapidly. My interest then was to discover and recover many of those materials from warehouses. These materials are very diverse, such as leathers, colors, outdoor fabrics, stains, metals, ropes, canvas, linens, and what else. Others like me chose to reopen closed warehouses and repopulate empty squares with craftsmanship and small trade. Together, we created a network and supported each other. With the arrival of mass tourists, our somewhat unusual shops were highly appreciated. But the arrival of COVID-19 found ourselves unprepared, each in their own way had to get up again. I, with Jungle, had to walk back and look for work. I stopped, made more reasonable choices, and began planning the birth of a small business, a new upcycling startup that capitalized on the brand and mission of past experiences, but was based on a new business model. I needed time and money for this transition, and external stimuli to slowly find the right path. I changed the look of the store, found funds for web strategies and website, and funded to develop products that no longer had the aesthetic of scraps, which I love so much, but could enter professional people. I searched among public funders, sought after partners. Between the end of 2021 and 22, with great sacrifices, I managed to prepare for the opening of the new company, which took place in the spring of this year and involves a team of 3 partners. The brand remained the same. The workshop became a work store, the website as kids e-commerce, and things have moved forward. In particular, among the projects and grants we won last year that allowed us to implement our plans, there is a profession. For instance, I knew as profession through Dr. Zero and the mailing list of Dr. Zero, and then we knew about work through Dr. Zero, so the local arts for us is a very, very important resource. I love it so much. I'm talking about this profession. It was an extraordinary opportunity for us to develop a new high-quality product related to the fashion sector, giving us prestige and visibility in our market. About the project and result, there is Lilia, that she wanted to speak about the project, and she is our garment designer now, and since last year, an expert in sustainable fashion.
Great, thank you, Ilaria, for guiding us through your journey.
Okay, so very quickly, I was called by Ilaria to actually work with design provide material that are safe from competition votes. In particular, it is the student sale that is repurposed in order to create these adaptable, resilient, fluid in terms of genders, parka jackets. Together with the other partner that is Lyon, that is a fab lab embedded in the, I would say, historic artisanal heart of Florence, because Florence is also my city. We decided to create a repair kit in order to elongate the lifetime of these parka within the customers and create the opportunity to actually mend your own garments, so that these garments can really stay with you for, I would say, the journey that you decided to do with them. The parkas, they also belong to the concept of being no season, and through NXT4Fashion we have involved also the platform that has certified our partner with the LCA certification, obviously measuring the impact of the CO2 emissions and the water consumption. Through cost level is a platform that is based in Amsterdam and has helped us to actually understand the impact that those partners will have on the environment. The project has been called since obviously the I would say the connection through the to the sales and both words it was called till the winter.
About scalability, yes, it's a contradiction in terms. As you propose,
I was asking everybody is, coming out of a digital environment, we talk a lot about scalability, we're looking for funding or to scale and make times 8, times 12 and multiples. It's sustainable and especially circular fashion, that's not the case. So I asked all teams to think like, what have you been doing on the side of circularity and what on scalability and is that a contradiction? And that was the
because we cannot imagine this kind of product, this kind of work that is behind this product in a scale like a scale of industry. So the question is, can we just be content with what we have? Yes, we are content. Or shall we apply the business as usual mindset or projects that of the old working business as usual have nothing to share with it? It's a question for all this kind of project. Share today.
I have a question just for you to understand. Why is it so hard to scale it? What is really, or why is it so hard to scale what you're doing?
The first problem is the sales triangular. So imagine that you have to cut in a warehouse that are used to obviously work with fabrics that are rectangular, a triangular shape. First problem. Second problem, not all the material can be used. Why? Because that material had a previous life. Sun, wind, water. So you have to discard a lot, that scraps that are used anyway in the production of smaller objects, but the partners, they are obviously designed in terms of pattern making and they take room to, I would say, onto the fabric. So let's say that you have to save the good part. And these for the industry is time consuming. So the scalability is not possible because of course it involves time. And time
question. Can AI solve that? Can computer vision help you to do that?
We should experiment. I mean, that could be an answer for sure. That would be interesting to actually understand if the computer can actually detect where the stains or the damage, and see where exactly it's possible. But these sales are 400 square meters sometimes. So it is a very huge portion of fabric that obviously it is cut into various pieces.
Another about this, maybe the product, this product is not scalable, but this product that is a very charming aspect can help the brand to scale with other products made from the same material. So maybe I cannot use all this material for the garment, but I can use the same material to produce a lot of little products and scale with that product. Okay?
But then, of course, in here it is involved craftsmanship, it is made in Italy, and so this is something that we should push in terms of, I would say, the work of the product itself. And then reconnecting to what Ilaria was saying before, I mean, can we just be content with what we can achieve with that? I mean, shall we really talk about scalability when we talk about sustainability? Or shall we, such as Zoe was saying, rethink a little bit what is the business as usual? And
can you open the floor to the audience, because it's really a question that is bugging me all the time. I would like to know of you here who believes that we can scale circular fashion. Can you just raise your hand if you believe we can scale circular fashion?
I think it's impossible.
Okay.
I think you need to rethink how you make money, you know, through experience, through other things, not objects, but experience. So I think it's not possible.
Okay, I want one person who believes really it is possible to no, I can be already. Somebody else, please. Unless there's nobody. Come on, there were so many hands before. Come on, yeah, go ahead. Shoot.
I'm not asking this, just looking at my own fashion brand. Because when I started, I used like conventional fabrics. But the last years, I tried to implement just two basic collections using organic cotton, certified, but also recycled fibers. And I'm not talking about recycled polyester. And like the awareness campaigns, educating the consumer just improved our sales.
Yeah.
And it's going better, so I think.
But still, it stays in the local collection, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like because that's where I'm trying to juggle here.
But the smaller, before the production were smaller, and now the demand is higher than before.
And that is growing your capability. Yeah, go ahead.
There's other ways. You could scale locally, but you have to produce locally. So you could be like a different.
And then can you, I think you can put it somewhere else again. That was my question.
It was for, I want to make it two examples.
Franchising is in the same model, like in different parts of the world, so you can build value chains around that.
And then
Basically returning to the ecosystems that are there and to the value chains that are developed there, because but it's a way to scale.
Philip, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, it also depends on what we mean with circular. A lot of people think that circular means sustainable, but if circular is not sustainable, it's not a problem scaling it. I mean, circular solution. So just scaling a circular sustainable solution, that's a different thing.
Yeah. I think this is worth much more discussion than we have, unfortunately, today. But I think this is a little bit at the core. If you really want to build an accelerator, it's all about like how do you think, how do you learn out of that, and how can you really spread the knowledge and eventually scale that idea, that solution, that process. Here as well, I think a digital platform might scale easier when you have marketing money, who's probably the first in the market. The product, the process is also different as a product. So I think you guys did a great job, and I hope telling you a little bit what we have been doing very concretely in the project, which type of SMEs are applying for these kinds of fundings, and I hope that helps for the next discussion of the policymakers, together with the first input that we had, in order to really see like how together we can move this sector forward, how together we can really build that large network of local hubs and make it work. Oh, we have time for one more question. What I would like to do is, from all of you, I would like just one quick answer. If you could implement this international network of global circular fashion hubs, what is it for you? Can you try to give us your vision of what that would be?
No, I mean, I would go also a bit more technical on some verticality.
Okay.
So to have and make any connection, but at least knowing where you can.
So not all the same hubs everywhere, but very specific knowledge and skills that
And you can also go and travel around them, but I mean, because if you know about circular textile, you don't know about, I don't know, QR codes, I don't know, I'm just.
Okay. Yeah, nice, thank you. Stefanie.
Yes, for us, it's definitely very crucial because we believe that a made-on-demand production in the future, and to have it locally and avoid transport costs and all this, and also save CO2 here. And especially using digitalization to connect everyone with another is something that we think would work very well to set up the infrastructure. And yeah, have these micro factories, I think, for all the local makers would be super great. That's
Okay, my factory.
Yes, microfactories is an utopia for us, but it will be great because we lack, in Sicily, we lack of services, we lack of assistance, and we would like to continue to stay in the network, knowing what is all around Italy, all around Europe, to connect for mobility, as Ernest said, and to know new problems and know new answers.
And I think that's where all four of us, we've done a great job over the last years to collect a lot of data, to have a good idea of what is happening in Europe in terms of initiatives, accelerators, brands. So yeah, let's see what we can put all that data to the next level. Thank you very much, everybody.